How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Hope you guys are having a great day out there, crushing the markets, making some great moves. I for sure am. And in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 oversold stocks that I'm looking at right now in the stock market. And I want to break down my plans with these 3 stocks. So if you all find value, hit the like button, subscribe, make sure to grab your coffee, take a sip of it, and go down below and get $50 free from M1 Finance. Literally, all you have to do is use my link, deposit $100, and we each get $50 free to invest with. Also, you can get 2 stocks from Webull up to $1,600, and you could also check out my Patreon for all my moves real time in the markets. All of those are linked right down below. So let's get into it. And like I said, and like you guys should know at this point, if you've been watching the stock market, we're at all-time highs. The S&P just hit an all-time high today, literally about an hour ago, 2 hours ago. When it comes to SPY, it hit $436.74, and QQQ hit an all-time high as well at $362.89. And typically, not always, but typically, well, for the most part, guys, when markets are at all-time highs, it is very difficult to find stocks out there that are oversold, they're beaten down. And in this video, we're going to talk about 3 that, despite the markets being at all-time highs, these 3 stocks are beaten down, some more than others, but for the most part, they're down over 10% from their recent highs. So I want to break these down today, so let's get right into it. Stock number 1 is ChargePoint, ticker symbol CHPT, and this is one that I actually exited in the end of June. Let me look at my notes here. On June 28th, and you guys in my Patreon know this, and when you're swing trading, it's super important to lock in profits periodically, especially if a stock's overextended, if it's seen such a massive run, and that is what I personally did. You know, ChargePoint was one of those stocks that I was buying in the high 30s, maybe even in the low 40s a little bit, and I averaged down all the way to $20. And of course, I went heavier in my positions when it was closer to $20, and I literally bought my latest position when I owned it was bought at $20 per share. So I got that average cost down to, I believe, $26, $27 over that time period. And I ended up selling out at $34.75 on the 28th of June. And I made a good amount of money. And the idea is here, guys, I made about 20-ish% on that position. And again, the idea is to lock in profits. Never get too greedy, especially if you're up a good chunk in a short period of time. And always look for re-entry. That's another key point. And don't be scared to lock in profits, right? That's what I did. And you never make money unless you lock in profits. And now that we did that, we locked in the profits, we're looking for a re-entry, and the market gave us, excuse me, guys, the market gave us the potential re-entry, because now we're down from the recent high at $36, we're down 25%. So ChargePoint is in a bear market, and from where I even sold, it's down 20%, where I sold at $34.75. So yeah, great example of me locking in profits and it dumping. And that's a lesson, because look, if I didn't lock in the profits, if I was being greedy, I was like, oh, it's going to break 38 and go to 45 with no pullbacks, I would be very angry at myself right now, because I'd be pretty much right back down to my average cost, about $26, $27. Now we're at $28, right? Almost $29. So at this point, we're noticing ChargePoint, yes, is trading under the 50 and the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So it's under the main moving averages, but we are maintaining the support from the beginning of June. You guys can see we held about $28 in the beginning of June, and my dog is moving around behind me. What are you doing, Ibiza? She's right here next to me right now, guys. Anyway, we held $28 per share. And you notice how 28 was resistance from the beginning, actually, well, yeah, a little bit in the beginning of May, but also in the end of April. Notice how we double topped here at 28 before we ended up selling down all the way to $19. And obviously, once we break above an old resistance, it becomes a support. So at this point, like I said, we're holding 28, 29. This is a very good sign, technically speaking, for ChargePoint. Now I just need to see it break above 30. I'm going to put my alert at $30. So if we break above the 180 SMA on the 4-hour, I'm thinking we'll go up to the 50 SMA, which will be another sticking point. That's going to be around $31.50 to about $32. That was also support in the end of June. So I'll put another alert there at probably $31.50. And if these levels clear, guys, I'm thinking ChargePoint's going to be going back to that high point, whether it's 34.75 where I sold, 37, maybe it breaks 37, and we end up filling this next gap to the low 40s, which could give it another 10, 12% upside from $37 to $40 per share. Now Ibiza's right back in her bed on this side. Hey, what are you doing, Ibiza? She's a funny one. So, yeah, guys, ChargePoint looking strong today. Upstart is another one that's crushing it today, guys. Upstart is up 7.7%, and we're above the 50 SMA on this one, unlike ChargePoint, but we're under the 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart, like ChargePoint. And I'm going to put an alert at $130, maybe $133 on this one. Notice how 133, if I zoom in, that was resistance all throughout June and even up till now. Plus, it's the resistance of the wedge. So if we end up taking these levels out, I'm thinking ChargePoint has a good head of steam ahead of itself. Straight up, guys, from 135. The next big resistance I'm seeing is probably 140, which was support in the end of May. But after 140, if that's able to clear, we're going 155, followed by $170, which was the high point from the end of March. And if you guys didn't know, Upstart operates a cloud-based AI lending platform. The company's platform aggregates consumer demand for loans and connects to its network of the company's AI-enabled bank partners. I personally don't use this company, and I don't own the stock. Quite frankly, I don't own any of these stocks anymore. ChargePoint, Upstart, and the third one. But just because I don't own it now doesn't mean that I won't own it in the future. And quite frankly, if it breaks 133, I wouldn't mind taking a swing position on this. So we're going to be watching it. Ticker symbol UPST. And Ford is the last one. Ford is, oh no, by the way, I forgot. Let's see how down, how much Upstart is down from the recent high. Okay, it's down 31%. So it is well into a bear market like ChargePoint, but Ford is not in a bear market. Ford is down. It's the least beaten down one. Ford's down about 12%. So it's in correction territory, which is anything from 10 to 20% drop. But it's not in bear market territory quite yet. And I don't think it will get there. Of course, it could, especially if we fail at the moving averages where we're testing right now. It surely could go lower, but I don't think it will. And again, I could be wrong. But overall, Ford at this point down 12%. We're about to test both moving averages here on the 4-hour, and both moving averages, they're meeting right now. They're literally crossing over each other, and we don't know. It's too early to tell if it's going to be a death cross or a golden cross. I mean, as of now, it is looking like the 50's crossing under the 180, but that could change with a small move in the stock's price. So it's too early to tell. But overall, guys, look, this is it's looking pretty good in my opinion. We're up 1.3% today. We're about to test the wedge, and I'd say, guys, if this breaks into the higher 14s, low 15s, it's going to be in breakout territory. So I'm going to put my alert on Ford at about $15 per share. And it's no secret that it did get a bit hot when they announced the Ford F-150 release and, all that hype around, Ford versus Tesla, the Cybertruck versus the F-150. We did see it go from $11 to about $17, more like $16.50. So it did rally 30% from the middle of May to the beginning of June. So that's ridiculous, guys, especially for a company like Ford. Not knocking Ford. I mean, I think they have a great future, but it doesn't move that fast. Let's be honest here. It was 2-3 weeks, 30% move. That's ridiculous. And we're seeing profit taking like expected, and we're either going to break out of 15 and tune up for the next big rally, or if we break under, let's say, or we start pushing under the low from a couple days ago, 1375, we take that low out, we might be selling off a bit further, maybe $13, maybe $12.50, and especially if we got rejected by the moving averages, that's probably where we will be going. And plus, we have earnings coming up here on the 28th of July, so about 2 weeks from now, we're seeing earnings from Ford, so it's going to be interesting. And this is one, guys, that it's tricky, because if you think Tesla's the only big player in this EV market, you're mistaken. You know, Tesla, sure, it's a great player, big market share, but Ford's coming, VW is coming, you know, a lot of these other players are coming in as well, and I think they're going to do well with that Ford F-150 truck. I mean, I showed you guys a chart a couple weeks ago. Ford F-150 truck, electric truck versus the Cybertruck, they were neck and neck in terms of popularity. And out of all you guys watching this video still, which if you are, shout out to you, you're awesome. What would you rather have if you were to get the Cybertruck or the Ford F-150 electric free of charge? Let's say you can snap your finger and it poofs in your driveway. That'd be awesome, right? Let's say if that were to happen, what would you pick? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. And for me, I'm going to go Cybertruck, but then again, I wouldn't be sad if I got the F-150 electric. I mean, that's pretty sick as well. But overall, I think the Cybertruck is a little bit more unique. I think it's cool as well. I'm not going to lie. Some people think it's ugly, but hey, I think it's pretty unique, which, you know, in these days, hey, a lot of trucks look the same, although they're not all the same. Don't get mad at me, but they look, a lot of them look the same. I would want something that's a bit different, right, to stand out a bit. And I'd love to know, again, your thoughts down below in the comments. And we'll wrap it up here. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, leave me a comment, turn on the notification bell so you're not missing out on the videos, guys. And make sure to check out my Patreon if you're interested in my buys, sells, call-outs, all real-time, by the way, when I'm making moves in the markets. And if you're in the top tier on Patreon, you get a morning update video every single day, breaking down news, stocks, my plans, what I'm doing in the markets. If you're interested in that, that is linked right down below in the description box, or you can go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. You could also get your 2 stocks from Webull up to $1,600, and you can get $50 guaranteed from M1 Finance by simply depositing $100 onto the platform, and all of those are down below. I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for tuning in again. As always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there, guys. Peace out.